OranjeVis contacted me in 2017 with questions about control systems and how they should fit together and how they work. It started as a very small plant with a few with small equipment. After all these years, I ended up with quite a big plant with a lot of small controllers distributed all over the place. There wasn't really a design behind it. The client had major problems with the network falling over, the network not keeping up, because some of the network paths were overpopulated or too much data going through a certain leg of the network, and that was a constraint. Some of the controllers were also in places where they had a lot of moisture and stuff, so the controllers were giving problems continuously. If they get to an area where there's a lot of fish, they need to get that in and they need to process it within a certain time. If the fish goes off, they obviously lose quality on the end product, and if they can't process all the fish that the ships can bring in a specific time, they need to tell the ships to wait. On the reporting side and on production throughput, the client couldn't really measure what they had. They had manual reporting. On the electrical side, they didn't have any electrical drawings. You couldn't really fault find, you couldn't really fix anything. So that contributed to your downtime. On the SCADA and control system side and network side, they didn't have very good documentation on the network layout, the design of the network, how to expand the network, where to add, where to take away. Part of the solution that we provided them was also to establish standards, software standards, hardware standards, and give them a more open architecture, open solution that if they wanted to go with any other system integrator after we've done the implementation, it would be possible for them.
Also, the redundancy of the network was also a big goal that they wanted to achieve. In the past, they had a lot of security breaches, a lot of viruses that came over onto their network, and that was one goal we wanted to achieve, to have a secure and safe network for them to be able to operate at the maximum capacity. When we got the project, the client wanted a proper reporting tool so that he can measure his KPIs on. They also wanted a more fluent and more decluttered their SCADA system so that the operators could have a more easier environment to work with and to just increase their efficiency in operating the site. Our client had the opportunity to go to one of the Wonderware breakfasts where we actually saw the Wonderware application put into a run. That was one of the big points of moving or actually using Wonderware for a solution. OMI made it quite easy for us as system integrators to do the design, because a lot of the things are already built. They've got a huge library that you can just select, drag and drop and duplicate all the templates, which made it quite easy for us to develop with. So that was one of the big reasons why we chose Wonderware, OMI and system platform. So we used Wonderware Historian to give them one central database where they can consolidate all their data, and with the Historian infrastructure in place, it was easy for us to use software from Wonderware like Flow, Insight, Alarm Advisor, and Historian Trend Tool, and that made it the ability for the operators and the management to be able to use that anywhere on site made it quite easy for them to do analytics on the plant data.
So we implemented a reporting tool for them so that they can measure this, and they've got certain targets that they can actually measure it to now. With the new system, we can also monitor the efficiency of the operators. We could see which operators were actually operating the plant at a high production rate, and which operators were struggling and we had to give them some extra training to get them up to speed.
The benefits that we realized, the operators, the SCADA was reduced from 23 SCADA pages, which they used to start up the plant, to 4 pages. So that made it, that gave the operators so much more. We empowered them with, they can actually do their job instead of rushing from one problem to the next. With the new system in place, we could track it down to a day and a half for about 1,600 to 200 tons of fish. which was something they never was able to do in the past. They normally worked through 40 tons of raw fish per hour. That was increased to 50 tons of raw fish, which is about a 25% increase. With the ability to log in remotely, that reduces the cost of the maintenance cost or control system maintenance cost. So with all the reporting functionalities, the reporting tools that we gave them, it allowed them to do data analysis from anywhere on site. It empowered the operators as well to be able to use these data analysis tools to fault find or to improve the efficiency of the plant.